So my name is Niecy Brown. That's what I'm called now, and that's what I was called when I was born. However, during the Yarns period, I was known as Niecy van der Elst, and then by the end of Yarns, I was known as Niecy van der Elst Brown. So where to begin? I had landed this job as artistic director for a very important project for Deloraine, and where to begin? It was ginormous. So for the first 6 months, I spoke to every group, Girl Guides group, Probus, the Firemen's Association, every group registered in the town, and some of them unregistered, like the pub and the cafes, to find out what people loved about this place and what they felt should be represented. It was that community consultation was absolutely essential, and that's what gave it the acceptance that it got from the town. I mean, we had over 300 people working on this thing. I remember saying to a friend, I just can't get where to stand to get the perspective, because there's so many hills and valleys. And went up in a helicopter and flew from the top of Meander Falls up on the plateau, followed the river all the way into town and did the rural areas around, Westbury and Wagina and Weetar, all of those areas. And from that footage, I set that footage up in the Yarns workroom, and whenever we were in doubt about how to place something or to present it, we'd have the video running. That was really exciting.
Hello, I am Lexie Young. I was the works coordinator of the Yarns project, situated now in the Deloraine Visitor Centre. A wonderful project started by an enthusiastic group of about 4 people. It was a great project because a lot of it started just with white silk. Two of our ladies went over to Melbourne and bought yards and yards, or metres and metres, of white silk, and it was hand-dyed over at the showground. A lot of other fabric was used as well, and depicts the 4 seasons of the Meander Valley: spring, summer, autumn and winter. A lot of tourists like the winter one, but I live in the town and I love spring because it depicts all the old buildings, the notable buildings, the bridge, the river, the mountain, and what else could you wish for? We had some sheep in the spring panel. There was only 1 sheep. Someone had a notable Suffolk stud, so she went home and made the Suffolk and brought back. Another one had a Dorset horn, so she went home and made a Dorset horn. So they were the things that went on.
Well, Yarns means a lot to me, means a great deal, and I could wax lyrical for hours, and I have done so at various times. But if I bring it down to its essence, the meaningfulness for me would be encapsulated in the word expansion. This little project started out as a little project for 1 theatre curtain. It expanded into 4. Then the town decided it was so good and they loved it so much, they'd build a building for it, and hence they built the Great Western Tiers Visitor Centre. The town itself, it was in that period of post where the town had been bypassed, so the idea was to expand the town as well. Then on another level again, the beautiful women that came in, most of them saying, oh goodness, I'm not creative, I haven't got a creative bone, I can't draw a straight line. Whereupon I would say something along the lines of, well, that's good because we don't want any straight lines, we want lots of bendy, crooked ones, and encourage them to go back out and look at where they live. Look at the beautiful hillsides, look at the mountain shapes, look at the way that river meanders down through the middle of town. And I knew jolly well that most of these women were very, very good sewers. When we started, I had made a blouse once. Unfortunately, when I came to do the sleeves, I'd sewn 1 sleeve shut, so it was sort of a one-armed blouse. But I did know how to use a machine. Now, back onto the theme of expansion. About a year into the project, the coordinating duties were taking a lot of time, and I really needed to be at the machine or working with people, helping them to create their piece. And that's when Lexie Young came along and she said, bang, I'll do that, and was just extraordinary. She took over the whole coordinating side. And then further along, it was meant to take a year, and we were well into the second year, and I knew that personally and emotionally and everything else, I needed to expand again. So I just kind of put it out to the universe, if you like, that I needed serious help, and I needed some angels to help me work. Well, that's when the angels came in. Claire Badcock, who had been working right from the beginning, stepped up and she took over the summer panel. Jo Imerson, who had also been there from the very, very beginning, she stepped up and took over the spring panel. I continued on with the autumn, and this wonderful, amazing artist, Diane Adams, came in with the winter. Diane's touch is everywhere, but particularly on the winter panel. By the time we got to winter, we had expanded our skills, our knowledge, our boldness had expanded greatly. And pretty much the winter one was done by the four of us with some other help. And also we were meeting a deadline, so we just went for it. And I think in this winter panel, that's where the skills that were developed through the other three really shone through.
So if you're in Deloraine, passing by, please call into the Visitor Centre where you'll be made welcome and enjoy the lovely artwork in silk.